Hey guys, welcome back to the Live Out Love podcast. I'm your host, Olivia Earle, and today I have on a very special guest with me, Izzy Garosi.
Hey guys!
And I always explain how I know the guest, and so Izzy is very special to me. So I was in a sorority, anyways, and so in sororities you have like a family, and so I have a big, but also I have two littles who are incredible, and then now grand littles. And so Izzy's my grand little.
Yes.
So it's really cool because we're not related at all.
Nope.
But I feel like once you're in that vibe with sororities, like I feel like even though I didn't really know you, like you're family.
Yeah.
And I would do anything for you.
Aww.
So, and it was sweet. So Izzy, like I said, like I really didn't know her. Like she became in our family, I guess.
Yeah.
October, November?
Yes, October, I think.
Yeah. And we were trying to meet up and it never really worked. And so finally it's February now. We got coffee a 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And I just got to hear everything about her life, who she is, and she's incredible. And so today I just get to ask her questions about her testimony, just her life in general, and you guys are going to just be so encouraged. So to start, I would love to just hear a little bit about yourself, maybe what listeners can know the background of you.
For sure. So I am a sophomore here at Clemson. I am originally from Greenville, South Carolina, so I'm pretty close. But I have just been an athlete my whole life. Basically, I played soccer growing up, and I now do endurance sports, but not my athlete side, but I am a graphic communications major. I forgot to mention that. So, and then my minor is brand communications, if anybody cares at all.
Yeah.
But,
Hey, maybe you'll create a logo for me.
I know. There you go.
Practice for your class.
It is so much fun. I'm such a creative visual learner and thinker, so the graphic communications program at Clemson is great.
Yes.
It's been so fun.
That's so exciting. Yeah. And she was telling me she painted this cooler for her boyfriend's frat weekend.
Yeah.
It is so good. I think it's one of the best coolers I've ever seen.
It genuinely took a couple years off my life. It was.
I know. How long did it take you to do it?
So I think my total, it was 24 hours, just with little things. At least 2 days straight.
Wow. That's incredible.
Which was a lot. But it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Just planning it. And I asked, so you're traditionally supposed to paint it, and I asked my boyfriend, I was like, would you mind if I printed this on giant sticker paper and then Mod Podge it on? And he was like, no, that's cheating. I was like, no.
So you had to paint it.
I had to paint it. But
wow, I would have faked some of it.
I know.
Mod Podge.
I know. I was please.
Well, you did it.
Yes.
And I know he's gonna love it. Has he seen it yet?
No, he wants to be a total surprise.
Wow.
I'm just an
So does he not have TikTok?
No, he does not have
Okay,
TikTok.
good.
Yeah.
She posted it. It was so cute, and I was so hyped for you.
No, he has not seen it. He wants to see
Wow,
it for
you're gonna
a
have to
little
get his reaction.
bit. Yes, I will.
It's
I will.
really good.
I'm excited.
Well, thank you for telling us a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
So, long story short, not short at all, Izzy just completed an Ironman. And she's insane. Actually the coolest person I've ever met. And I'm sorry to anyone else, but she is literally the coolest person. And why it's just the most touching story. I literally, after she told me this story, I went home and I ran a mile just because I was so inspired, and that was a mile. That was nothing compared to that. But she truly just has this insane story of what the Lord has done in your life with endurance and with running and with things that she thought she could never do in her life. And I know that it encouraged me so much. I just went home and just thank the Lord so much for just how real he is and how you experience that. And so to get started, I would love for you to just start from the beginning.
For sure.
Maybe start testimony and then how that led into the Ironman.
For sure.
Yeah. So
all right. Warning, this is a very long story.
No, it's great.
Just basically my whole life.
This is why she's on the podcast.
But ever since I was a little kid, I was just this anxious little bubble. I remember going to school, I would always get really bad tummy aches because I was just so nervous. And in middle school, that led to panic attacks every day almost, and then just depression later on. But I have always been an athlete. I played high-level soccer growing up, and so just wanting to perform my best and just be the best was always something that was in the back of my mind and just leading to this anxiety. But really just the deepest part of my testimony, when I was in 9th grade, I was hospitalized for suicidal thoughts. And this was at a point in my life where I was, just got into high school. I was trying out for Jailman high school soccer team, which, if you know, it's a very intense level team. And just, I had put all my identity in my performance. And it led me to wanting to end my life. And, just thinking back to who I was, I was only 14, 15 years old at this, and just not knowing how much the Lord had in store for me and how much he wanted just this amazing, abundant life for me. And just what I was putting my identity in was just not what he had for me and not what he wanted. And so I was hospitalized, and about 2 years later was still going down that same dark path, still playing the sports, but I started getting so much anxiety during soccer that I would throw up during practices and games. And just I remember it started with high school soccer and then moved to my club soccer my fall of junior year. And I had to quit soccer. So I have played soccer since probably 5 years old.
Wow. And you just going from that to quitting.
To immediate quitting. And I was just that's just a whole part of me just got stripped away. And I was like, who am I? What? I don't have any drive. I don't have anything to live for. I just don't have anything. Those were just all lies that I was feeding myself. And I just lost my whole purpose. And I was hospitalized again, but this time for a suicide attempt.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is not I have shared it, but not publicly, really. But it's just so important for my testimony, just how low I was.
Thank you for feeling comfortable to share that. That is very heavy.
Yeah, and it definitely, I just think back and I'm just who was that? And I just want to give her a big hug. 15, 16 years old wanting to end your life is so sad. And so that was really hard. But so that was about March of my junior year, I believe. Yeah, junior year, I believed. And I was it was almost like a switch. I was I can't live like this anymore. I felt just God going after me, just come on, give this church a shot. And I had been going to church my whole life with my mom, but it always just felt like a chore. And it was always just I'll just go and fall asleep on my mom's shoulder in the sermon because I'm just I just want to get to bed. But and I remember one sermon, it was at New Spring Clayton King, and he was just I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but I just felt so called out. And he was open your heart, let Jesus in. He wants you, that relationship with you, and he can save you. Only he can save you. And I was just it was it was just a big God moment. It was just wow. I have been just running to try and do this on my own, and just putting my identity in all these different things that just lead to nothing but death for me. And so about 2-3 months later, I was serving in Kids Spring. Yeah. And
the Greenville one?
The Greenville one. Yeah. And I was just so I'm ready to get baptized. And that's so exciting. I gave my life to Christ about, I don't remember the exact dates. I think it was maybe April. This is a very fast turnaround, immediate. And then May of that year, I got baptized.
Wow,
and
that's incredible.
Yeah, they let me share my story on like the TV when they were baptizing me, and like I would turn to my dad and my family, and everyone was just pulling their eyes out, and I was just like wow, like God has like literally life or from death to life. Like it was so literally, it was such a moment. But and I just felt like I had a new purpose. And then also, like, I think a part of me also thought that maybe if I get baptized, like, nothing bad will ever happen to me again. Or I won't ever feel this way again. Or, like, and that's just not true. And I think that's a really hard understanding, and something that people don't realize is that just because you give your life to Christ doesn't mean everything's going to be easy. And I found that out because then in that fall I was entering my senior year. I was like just having this crazy like, what am I going to do with my life? Where am I going to go to college? Me and my long-term boyfriend had broken up at the time, and so just like a lot of change was happening, and I also was missing that sport aspect that I've been doing my entire life. I was like, what am I doing? God, what is my purpose here? Like, I am just so lost. Like, what am I doing? And I just felt like he was calling me for a season of boldness. Wow. And to just be bold. And remember, I'm like this really anxious little girl. Still, like, I like get nervous to talk to anyone new, like all these things. And I'm like, boldness? Like, no. Like, that's just not me. But I was like, if you want it, God, I'm gonna do it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start running. I'm gonna pick up running. No plans for the future. I just missed that athletic, you know, I was an athlete my whole life, and so I started running, and I was like, I love it. And we were just talking about, we were just talking about how like you get hooked on running. It is definitely just.
Well, I think it's funny because I never really understood the runner's high. But then it's like, for me, it starts after the run. But like the longer I go for a run, the more it starts hitting. It's so fun.
It's so fun. I absolutely, and still to this day, despise running. Like, doing the actual act of running. But it is like unmatched, the feeling of just afterwards. It's the best.
Wow.
But
so you pick it up.
I picked it up.
Fell in love with it.
I fell in love with it, and I was like, I'm gonna train for a half marathon. Let's do it. This is my season of boldness.
Was this by yourself?
So at first I brought it up to two of my classmates, Mallory, who's my roommate now, and then my other friend Lily, who goes to the USC. And I was like, girls, please do this half marathon with me. Please, please, please. And they're like, let's do it. And so all of our training, like, we just did separately. But it was just super fun. And when I was starting to go on these longer runs and things got tougher, I was like, it really connected me to God. And it was my time to spend with the Lord and just be in prayer and just reflect on just where I was at the time, and just listening to what God had to tell me. And that was also another reason why I fell so much in love with running. And it was just like this was me and God's time. And so it was like almost like an act of worship for me. So that was really cool. And so fast forward in April, me and Mallory did the half marathon. I think Lily wanted to do a different one, like further out.
Where'd you do it?
We did it in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It was like, it's called the Hometown Half Marathon. It is like, it was not fun. It was like really,
it was in the Berg.
It was in the Berg. It was a trail run. We had no idea it was a trail run. So we were running through the woods.
Wow, do you have to train differently?
You have to train so differently, and I was training on the Swamp Rabbit Trail, which is just flat pavement. And then I get to this half marathon, and it's rocks, it's sand. We were running in sand, like up tree root, like it was just this whole thing, and I was like Mallory, no.
But you did it.
But we did it,
and I love that. That's like, I didn't know this when she told me this, but I love that's like your first thing of like, you had no idea what you're expecting, but you did it. And you did it 2 more times after that. More insane. Like, that's so cool. He was preparing you for like the unexpected. And I'm still doing it.
And just like that being my start, I was like, that's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was like,
and you did it.
And I did it. And I was like, wow, I'm addicted to this. This is going to be a problem. And after that, I was just like, thank you, Lord, for just I was like, that was so cool. Like, I can't believe that I was able to do that. And so I was just like, what other fun, bold things can I do? Whatever. Because like the time I was like 17 years old, like no one was really doing that.
Right. I feel like now it's like in your 20s everyone's doing it.
But I was just a 17-year-old. Yeah. I was like, whatever. But I went into my notes app and I was like, what are the boldest things that I can do? Like big bucket list. I had skydiving, marathon, Boston Marathon, Ironman, half Ironman. Yeah, I was like,
those are bold.
No one is stopping me. This is happening. This is happening. And I was like, I don't care when this happens, but it's getting done. And I like had a few other things. But I was like, this is my season of boldness. And I'm going to do every single one of these things with God right by my side. Yeah. And so I was like, next step, skydiving. For my 18th birthday, I went skydiving.
Where did you go?
Skydive Carolina.
But it was around here.
It was around here. Yeah. So much fun.
Wow.
It was like a cloudy day, but it was just like wow, I just jumped out of an airplane.
You did that.
And I'm just like thinking back to that anxious little girl who
I don't think I could ever do it, but that's insane.
who couldn't even go to school. Like,
and you did that.
And I just jumped out of an airplane.
And that is just a testament how good the Lord is.
Yeah.
Like he took away that fear from you.
That's
incredible.
It's
like that is a big deal, Izzy.
Yeah. Wow. It was so much fun.
And you were 17?
I was 17, or I was 18.
Okay, 18, yes.
Now I'm 18. Okay. And I started going back to FUELED, which is New Spring Student Ministry. And I went to FUELED. I met just these amazing girls. I was mentored by just amazing women.
Sweet. Yeah.
And then obviously graduated high school, got into Clemson, all the things. And I was just like, this is like exciting change. Like so much is happening in my life. And like a year ago, I was wanting to end it.
Wow. And you're like, wow.
Yeah. And I was just like
that. Wow.
Yeah. And it was literally
that flip
like,
of
it was a flip. And I was just like, how is that possible, God? Like, it was just like no words but gratitude. Just like genuinely death to life. Like, and that's just like what I'll keep saying because that's just my testimony.
So true.
It literally he took me from my deathbed, like wanting to die, and brought me to this just amazing joy in life. And so I was like, I'm going to honor this and just keep challenging myself. And I think a part of me really likes this endurance sports and challenges because that's this weakness and just this, not weakness, but struggle that I feel during endurance sports is that same struggle that I felt when I was 14, 15, 16 years old. And I didn't know it at that time, but God was right at my right hand.
Still, yeah.
And he still is. Yeah. And so it's just like a reminder of how much God has changed my life. And so that's something that I like to reflect on during it. But yeah, that was my little marathon.
So okay, so you skydive, you half marathon.
Yeah.
And at this point in your life, you're senior. Okay, so did you train for senior year?
Yeah. So it was.
So then
Okay, and then it was around this time, or right as I was graduating, I was like, "What's the next big step?" It's like, let's just do a full marathon. How hard could that be? Like, whatever.
How long did you train?
Probably from summer to December. My marathon was December of 2024.
Okay. But you were still in high school?
I would have been a freshman in college.
Oh, you're a sophomore now.
Yeah.
Duh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're okay. Yeah.
So I started my freshman year of college. And I was like waking up at like 5 a.m. to do these morning runs. I was like so disciplined, all the things. And it was just my favorite thing to listen to. I get this from my mom. She loves listening to worship music while she runs.
Yeah.
And it's just so powerful. And it's just, again, my form of worship. And so I trained until December. I did the Kiowa Marathon.
Oh, fun. Was it fun?
So much fun.
Okay, good. It made up for your half.
Yeah. It's all flat.
Thank you, Jesus.
All flat. Yes. Yeah. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done. I remember calling my mom at mile 17. I was like, Mom, I can't do this. Like, no, it's not getting done. And she's like, you gotta get here somewhere. You have to get to the finish line somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I was like,
that's good.
If I crawl, I'm gonna crawl to the finish line, but I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah.
And I remember just because it was really tough. The longest run I'd ever done before my marathon was 15 miles, I think.
Oh my.
Yeah. That is a common thing with me. I like to.
Yes. As you will hear.
Yeah,
you'll hear. In a minute.
I like to undertrain very much.
Somehow it works.
Yeah.
And it's literally all because of the Lord.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think if he was not in your life like this, I don't think you could have done this.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Wow.
And so I completed that marathon, and I remember I was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm never doing it again. No, never again. Like, that just took 10 years off my life. This is not happening. God, we're done. This is where this boldness ends. We're not doing it anymore. And I have like a memory saved in Snapchat of, I think it was Christmas Eve. It was like, I'm gonna do an Ironman this year.
So what made you change from, I'm done with this is way too much, to I'm gonna not do another marathon again, I'm gonna do something even more insane?
A
full Ironman.
Yeah.
Not even half.
So I was just like, I think, and this is something, because I felt the same way after I was with my Ironman. I was like, I'm never doing that again. And I'm like, man,
it's kind of like, yeah.
It was just more like, just like,
right after.
Right after. And then you're like reflecting on the experience and like where you started and where you are now and how just amazing that is. And you're like, oh, I want to do that again. It's just like so fun. And I was just like, I was getting all these Ironman TikToks on my For You page.
It's the For You page.
It was the For You page. And I was also like looking at my bucket list that I had made senior year, and I was like, let's do it this year.
Wow.
Ironman, let's do it.
Not half.
Not half full. I was like, because Ironmans are really expensive. And so I was like, I don't really care to spend money on a half and a full. It would be like, excuse me. It would be like
a full.
It would just, I was just like, I'm just going to pay for the full and just do a half on my own, whatever. That never happened. But it's okay.
Wow. So, wow. I'm just like shocked at the fact, like, you brush off so easily that you just like completed a marathon because of what you just trained for an Ironman, but it's just like insane to me that like 3 years, was it 3 years ago? Like your life literally did a whole 180.
Yeah.
And like just like pausing, I bet you do pause and reflect on it, but like the fact that you can now say this so casually like is insane.
Yeah.
And when she first told me this story, I still am speechless. Because, like, you did that.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know if that has it even hit you that you did all this.
I don't think so.
Because she says it so casually. I'm like, that's insane.
I like, people are like, how'd you do that? I'm like, I don't know. God. Like, God. I don't know. Like, God, period.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so you're training. You sign up for this Ironman.
So, the first 3 months, mind you, I have no swim, no bike background. The only background I have is in running, and we barely finished that marathon. Let's be real. Like, it was rough.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, let's learn the basics. So I learned swimming all by myself, learned to bike all by myself. I was using the little bike machines in the gym. Yeah. Using the little lap pool. Shout out Fike Pool.
Yes. Swimming pool. We love Fike. Well, before you kind of continue, will you tell listeners like everything that an Ironman consists of?
Yes.
So miles.
I forget that it is.
No, some people I like didn't know.
No, I know. So a Ironman is a 2.4 mile swim into a 112 mile bike into a marathon.
I'm sorry, 112 miles.
That was like serious.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot, and I was just like, yeah, let's do it, whatever. But
I can't even. Okay, so you're training.
Yep, I'm training.
How long did it take you to train?
So I started training in January of 2025. And my Ironman, I wanted to sign up for the most like beginner Ironman, which is the concept of beginner Ironman is just crazy. But
beginner,
like the easiest Ironman. Ironman.
Okay, so does that mean like the terrain level?
So
okay.
I did Ironman Florida, which I would not say is easy because it's an ocean swim. So I wouldn't say that it's that easy, but it's all flat.
Okay.
For the most part. So that was like the appeal. I love running and biking on flat. Like hills are not my. I was traumatized by that half marathon. Never again.
So you started your Ironman, and where did you go do it?
I did the Ironman Florida, which is Panama City, Florida. So
and you were saying you wanted to do like a beginner Ironman. And you were like, was it beginner? How did you feel about it?
I was like online, I was like, what is the easiest possible Ironman?
Right.
And they were like, Ironman Florida is great for beginners. So I was like, perfect. I was like, what about an Ironman is like
easy
beginner? But so it was an ocean swim, which I would not say is beginner. That is pretty, especially if you don't have access to. The ocean training can be a little difficult, but the terrain, like run and the bike was pretty much all flat, which was my appeal because after that half marathon,
no trails,
I was like no trails, nothing. That is not perfectly flat. I won't do it. So that was my appeal with Ironman Florida, which was November of this year.
Wow, insane. Okay, so walk us through everything in the day of the Ironman. Okay. I want to hear it all. The whole thing.
So, I was so nervous, obviously. It's 4 a.m. And that is when we got to the
the starting point of
the starting and they call it the transition. So,
okay, you were explaining this.
Before like the day before we had to take our bike, all of our stuff that we would need for transition into the transition zone, just to make sure everything was prepared. And so I got there in the morning and added some stuff that would have melted the day before, and like my gels, all my food, and I like made sure my bike tires were all pumped up. No idea how to do that. Like my boyfriend and my dad were like, do that, like get someone to come help you.
Right, because they couldn't see her.
Yeah, they can't. They're not allowed to come into the transition zone with me. And so I was just like this little 19-year-old girl in here.
At coffee, she was saying like all these like older men were like, "I'll help you," which is really sweet.
It was so sweet. I was just like, there's this. I think he was British. He was not from. He had this accent. And it was like, can you? I see you have a bike pump. Can you? Like pump up my tires? And he was like, of course. Like I was just like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what I'm doing.
And wait, I don't think you added this, but can you talk about your bike?
Yeah,
that's like a great story.
So my bike, so usually with Ironmans, you have these expensive tri bikes that are just made for just long distance triathlon, and they have the tri handles so that you can kind of bend down. I got this really cheap Facebook Marketplace bike, all that I could afford, because the registration fee for the Ironman is $1,000 already. I'm this broke college student. I can't do it. And I was like, this is all I can afford. And so I got the bike. It was a really heavy bike. One of my dad's friends, who's he bikes, his son is like a really cool triathlon guy, whatever.
Sick, yeah.
He came over and he like picked up my bike and he was like, my dad told me this after my Ironman, but he's like, I didn't want to tell her this, but I didn't think she was going to be able to do it on that bike. Like, that bike was way too heavy.
Wow.
And I was like...
And you did it. And I did it. You exceeded the odds. That's insane.
So I got the bike, and I kind of, like, did some research on what I need to add. So I added the tri-handles, like, some just bunch of stuff. And my boyfriend was my bike guy. I was like, you're in charge of the bike. I don't know how to work this. If anything happens... I don't know what to do. Yeah. So the day before, we had bought like new tires or tubes for my tires, and they were in the hotel room fixing it all up. And I was like, so I hadn't ridden on these tires, so I went out when they fixed it and ridden on the tires for like 5 minutes.
Wow.
And like we had it at the Ironman the day before. Like you can get it checked, like tuned up and all that. So we got it tuned up, all the things, and I was so nervous. I was like, because before the Ironman, these are my like longest things. This is pretty crazy and I don't recommend this, but my longest swim was the 2.4 mile swim.
Good, okay. But
it was not in the ocean. The only time I'd ever swim in the ocean was the day before the Ironman, and for like 10 minutes. So scary. And then my longest bike ride was like a 60 mile bike on the Swamp Rabbit Trail on
60 to 400. 400?
120.
Oh.
Wait, yeah. No,
Wait,
but
okay,
no,
60
400 would be a lot.
Wait.
400 miles would be a lot.
I think I actually was telling people that it was 400 miles, so I'm glad that you corrected me on that.
There you go.
Because that was really awkward. Okay, but still, that's insane.
Yeah. So I was like so nervous. I was like, there's no way. And then I had completely just was like super cocky. I was like, I've done a marathon before. Like, I can do that. Whatever. My longest run was 6 miles before the Ironman.
That's insane.
Yeah, I just totally was like, whatever, don't think like that at all.
Wow.
That was definitely a struggle story. And so I was going into the Ironman the day before I was trying to go to sleep, and I was just so nervous.
I bet.
Did
you get any sleep?
I did. I got sleep, but I was so nervous. And something that I had written on my hand before, like 2 months before, I was like really scared. I was like, my God controls the waters, I will not drown.
Wow.
And that just like a just wash of peace over me, and just like every time I was feeling anxious about it, just like saying that. But so then fast forward the day of 4 a.m. in check-in, mom got my bike all fixed, and then basically I got done with all that like really early. The Ironman didn't start till 7. And so it was like 5 in the morning, and it was like, so I have 2 hours of just sitting there waiting. And my parents, my mom, my dad, and my boyfriend were all there. Thank goodness. Because that would have just been evil if I was there alone. But,
literally.
Yeah, so, and then once it was time to get to the swim start, it's just a bunch of people. So, I was just telling Olivia about this, but the men have green caps and the girls have pink caps. So you just like are in this big sea of swim caps, and everyone's wearing green. Everyone is wearing green. And there's like little pops of pink everywhere. And I'm just like, wow. I'm so scared.
Izzy did not mention this, but she was the youngest female to do this Ironman. And so that's even more insane. But like compared to all the odds of like there's more men than this, and then you're just the youngest female there.
Yeah.
And wait, add about how everyone like came up to you and was like, you're the youngest.
Yeah. So right before I was going into the swim, the guys, like the commentators, I was like, hey, and they're like, what's your name? And I was like, Izzy, or Isabella Garosi, and they were like, you're our youngest female, like that's you. And then they were like said on the microphone, they're like, everyone, like we have our youngest female, she's about to enter the water, like wow. And just like as soon as I entered the water, like everyone like started shouting
so
and clapping, and I was just like,
you're like, let's go.
I know, so I'm so excited. Like if I had a camera on me in the water, I was just smiling with the biggest smile. I was like,
wow.
It's like, yeah, whatever.
Wow.
I don't even know what I'm about to do.
So you're in the water now.
Yeah.
Can you talk about just like how scary that is to open swim with all those people?
So, first of all, again, this was my second time like swimming in the ocean like this. And it was so scary. So the Ironman Florida it's 2 laps around the pier. So the fast people were starting their second lap when I was starting my first. So they're swimming over you. They're kicking you in the face. You know, you're swimming next to people. You're in the sea with a bunch of creatures. Like you go out really, really far, like all the way to the end of the pier and further.
Wow.
And, you know, my parents had said like they were rowing people back to the shore. And like they were just praying it wasn't me.
Oh my, that is
because they don't know who
terrifying.
Who it is. Yeah, and it's so scary, and I didn't even know that was going on because I was just focused on.
So like, so you were kind of saying like it's because you can get kicked in the face, like
so you can get kicked in the face and the head, and you know pass out or just genuine like just under fueling or just not being able to do it. And it's as safe as possible. They have a bunch of people on paddle boards just like looking medical professionals, all the things that they can do, but ultimately
it's still in the open, like
there's only so much they can do. So just safety in that part is super scary because there's just so much uncontrolled. So definitely the Lord was with me. I mean 100%. Through the whole thing, but
well, to add to that before you continue your other longer stories, I just think it's so special of like like how I've just been learning about this recently too, of like when the Lord, like, he gets you through something before, like, it doesn't mean that he's not gonna get you through something again, because he's like the same yesterday, today, and forever. And like how he was the same God back then, he's the same God here. And so I think it's so special, like, to think of, even when we doubt, like when you probably in this were probably like kind of doubting, but it's just so sweet, like, that he like kind of picks up his children. He's like, why are you doubting? Like, I already got you through that before. I'm getting you through this right now. And you did it. Which is like just such a sweet reminder. Of just like his faithfulness.
Definite.
So you're in the water, you're swimming, and then
so I did my 2 laps, got out, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling good, this is fine. I go to transition, get my wetsuit off. They have people that like rip your wetsuit off for you, and I was like, this is really intense. And another thing to mention is, so not only do you have to complete everything, you have a time limit for each of the different things. So for the swim, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. For the bike, it's 8 hours. So you have to be done with the swim and the bike by 10 hours, basically. And then the rest, the whole thing, 17 hours, basically.
Wow.
So that's in the back of my mind. I'm like, I gotta pick this pace up, because I'm not a fast swimmer. I've never been a fast swimmer. And
she just started swimming.
I just started swimming. I was like, I gotta finish this. It's like really hard. And I was like, I'm in the ocean. I don't know what I'm doing.
Wow.
But I made it. I got that done in 1 hour and 40 minutes. So
wow, that's impressive.
That was like 40 minutes before the time was up, and I was like, thank you. So I go to transition and get on my bike, get all that thing, and I'm like, all right, this is the longest leg of the race, like 112 miles on the bike. Like,
wow,
this is really scary. Like, I've never really ran or biked on a road before, because the Swamp Rabbit Trail is like its own little secluded thing. So I was biking with cars, like on the highway, going 60 miles per hour, like, so plus.
There was just an Ironman going on with cars. I guess it has to.
They had like the furthest lane blocked off and like things like that. But you get to a point where it's pretty rural and they don't have anything. Like, you're literally on the side of the road. Do
you do laps, or do you just go all the way down and then all the way back?
It was an out and then a loop and then a back.
You could 160 miles. You could have practically biked to like Georgia and back. More than that. To Atlanta?
Yes, from Greenville to Atlanta. I could have biked.
So that's basically what you did.
Yeah, that's basically what I did.
But you stayed in the Panama area?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how. I don't really. There's a map and I don't.
Yeah. It was probably like. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I remember halfway point, because that's when I started the unknown. I had never been here before. I'd never ran past or biked past 60 miles, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm really scared." But you get a bag, like you can put stuff in a bag, at the halfway point, and I put my nutrition stuff, and I saw this note. It was from my mom.
So sweet.
And it said, like something about the Lord is my strength. I can do anything with him, or something like that, or along those lines. And I was just like, I started bawling my eyes out, and I was like, I miss my family so much. They had been driving by in the truck to like say hi to me, or like every like 20 miles or so, and I was just like, I haven't talked to anybody in like
so
6 hours.
You can't have your phone, you can't have music, nothing music on the bike.
Nothing throughout the whole thing.
You really are just worshiping and talking to God.
Yep. I remember I was just like, God, this is really hard. This is really hard. Like, wow.
How do people do these Ironmans without being a Christian?
Genuinely.
Like, that blows my mind.
Yeah. And it's just it's so crazy, but Olivia's making me share this.
Yes, I love this part.
So
it's just so real.
One thing about the Ironman is, like the bike, like there's porta potties, but they're every 20 or so
and like
miles.
once you're on the zone,
once you're in the zone, you do not want to get out of it. So you either pee yourself or you stop and pee. And again, we're on the time limit.
Right.
I was
You're like, we gotta keep going.
I could not afford to get off my bike and go to the porta potty. So I peed myself about 7 times during that
I'm
bike.
glad you were staying hydrated enough to pee yourself.
I was staying hydrated, and I was just like, ew. This is the level that I have to go right now.
That's insane. Yeah. But like probably everyone else is
it's normal, and if you're gonna laugh about it,
do an Ironman.
Do an Ironman, and if you don't pee yourself, congrats.
Wow.
Because it's just so normal. Like, thank goodness, yeah. It's just,
Wow.
it's scary.
Wow.
But,
So you do that.
so I do that, and I get off the bike, and I'm like, whoo, it's done. Nope, you got a marathon.
Yeah, so this might be TMI, but you can't change.
No, so you're in this tri-suit the entire day, basically. And so I biked in the tri-suit. And
So you're basically running in your pee.
Running in my pee. And so I get out of the transition zone because I had to put my running shoes on, and I see my dad right there. And this is the first time that I get to, like, touch and hug them. And I'm just,
that's
like,
so sweet.
bawling my eyes out. There's this really sweet video of them. And I'm just, like, they have showed up just so much for me. And even though they're not right there with me the whole entire time, like, they took a weekend out of their weeks, and they've just put so much support into this. And honestly, I wouldn't be able to do it without them. And so I was bawling my eyes out. We were both crying and hugging, and then my mom and boyfriend were on the other side crying and hugging them too. And I was like, sweet. I just have to do a marathon. Like, I've done
You're
this
almost
before.
done.
You're almost done. And thank goodness I have done a marathon before, because if I got to that point and it's just so, like, I was just, like, comfort. I was like, I've done this before. I can do this again. Like, it doesn't matter what I just did. Like, I can do this. So we were, like, seeing all these people, like, running with the spectators. And I was like, I need someone. So I was on my way. I was about to start. I was starting the second half, the other 13, and I would see my boyfriend and my mom, and I'm like, Ben, you need, come on, like, come on, please come run. He is in, like, these Adidas slides.
That's crazy.
Not ready to run at all. Like, no. And he does it anyway. He's just the best. But so he's running with me. I don't even know if we were running or walking, and I was just, like, bawling my eyes out. I was like, I'm so gross, and I'm covered in pee, and I'm just like, I've been
as
out
you're running, you're bawling, and, like, what am I doing?
I'm just like, I just want to be done and all this. And he's just like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I can't believe you, like, you're doing this. Like, I knew you were going to do this. And he was like, you know, like, your parents were a little, like, I don't know if she's going to finish, like, all this thing. But I knew you were going to finish it. And I was just so, like,
encouraging.
I was just like, you're just the sweetest. You're just the sweetest little thing. Yeah. So, he did 6 miles with me.
Wow. In slides?
In slides.
All right, so if he can do that in slides, I can do that.
You can do that.
That's crazy.
He broke his slides.
Oh my gosh. So was he barefoot?
He was barefoot. Or I don't remember exactly when. I think if he was running, I don't remember when he broke his slides in the thing, but my dad came and was like, here, Ben, take my shoes.
That's awesome.
So he's running in my dad's shoes now. And we're on our way back, and it's like almost the last 6 miles, and my dad switches with him. And so now it's just me and my dad.
That's so sweet.
And it was just so special, and he's just telling me how proud he is of me and just how inspiring this is. And you know, my dad used to be my coach for soccer too when I was younger, and just obviously that's your dad, and just hearing this, how proud, and just like I inspired my dad, like what? Wow. Like it was just such a touching moment. Powerful, and it was just really powerful. And so we were on our way back, and I was like, Dad, I want to do the last 3 miles by myself. This is just like, I just want to do it by myself and like just reflect. And so he kind of jumped ahead a little bit, and we were like, it was kind of awkward because he was like about like a couple 100 yards ahead of me, and like we were both running to get to the finish line, but like I was still by myself. Like he was on the other side of the street. It was just like kind of weird, but it was fine because I don't know, my mom and Ben were at the finish line waiting for me there, so they couldn't come pick him up, and you know, so it was funny. But and then that last 3 miles, I like will always remember it. But I was just like so much gratitude. Like
you did it.
I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I remember that last mile, I was just thinking about that 14-year-old girl.
Wow.
And I was thinking about just like how much life she would have missed out on, and just how broken I felt, and just how I felt like I couldn't keep going, or there was nothing left for me, you know? And I was just reflecting of where I am now and where God has brought me now. And I'm just like, look how beautiful, and just a testament to God's strength. And you can never be too broken for God, you know? And just being able to do that with him at my right hand, and without him it would not have happened, obviously. But so just like reflecting at that, and then reflecting about all the just support. I mean, this whole time my best friends and my roommates were texting me. I don't even have my phone, they know this, and they're just texting me how proud I am, like mile by mile update. My family had traveled with me and were running with me and chasing me this whole day, and we're just so just loving and supportive. And then my family back home were like watching the live stream, and I was just surrounded by so much support and so much love. And I was just reflecting on just all that throughout the entire thing, and all the times where I was like, I can't do this, and my dad or my roommate Mallory would step in and be like, Izzy, you can do it, and like, you will get it done. And it was just so beautiful, and I'm just so grateful for everyone that was a part of that journey.
Wow. Well, thank you for just sharing all of that. Like, I just keep telling her just how so nonchalant she is with just like this whole story, and it's just so insane that someday you get to tell your kids this. Someday, like, you get to tell just like your future, like when you're 60. I did that when I was like 18, 19. Like, that's insane. But also just so encouraging for anyone listening, health-wise too. Like, literally after she told me this a couple weeks ago, I was like, if Izzy can do that, I can run a mile. And now Izzy has been going through some back pain. She's going through some PT stuff. And so I just think it's also so encouraging to see you in this. You're resting. You're trusting in him. Not only just resting your body, but you're resting in who he says you are. Not finding your identity in being an athlete. And so I think that's also special too, that you're in this season of like, you're probably really frustrated. Of like, why can't I work out? Why can't I do these things? But I just love how you're still trusting in him, even when you don't know what's going on. And so that's just so encouraging, because so much of life is you could lose everything. And I feel like that's probably how you're feeling right now, or everything that you did have. And so how has that been? Like, I know you have been trusting the Lord through everything, and you put your identity through him through all of this. But right now, like in that season of rest, like how has this been, I guess, difficult and like peaceful at times? Like, what have you been feeling right now?
For sure. I mean, obviously going from 100 to 0 is really, really tough. And I like also being like running and just sports is just a way of just relief too, and just schoolwork and all that thing. So having that taken away has been really hard as well. But just it's been so just my mind shift or my mind has been changed, just like, you know, making sure that this is God's way and not what like I want to do. I want to do, like, just taking a step back and just seeing what the little things that I can do to glorify God each day. That's not doing 1,000 things or doing the Ironman, or like just what can I do my day to day to glorify him and be in this personal relationship with him, which has been obviously definitely a change, but I'm really grateful for it. And also just what can I pour out to others, and you know, from this experience and from what God has blessed me with, how can I give that to others and just have God speak through me and through my experiences has been something that I've been taking away from this just change. And so it's been definitely hard, but pretty beautiful, and just seeing how God is working in my life right now. But I am doing a lot better with my back. So I have a pinched nerve in my back, and even before the Ironman I had this, and like I had numbness all throughout my left leg and all this thing, and I was just like super worried. about the Ironman, and the Ironman was the final push, and it was like, all right, you're done. No walking. No, you can't do this. So
she's even nonchalant with that. Like, numb.
It was bad.
But wow.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, even from 2 weeks ago or a week ago, you're like doing better from that. And so it's just been, it's up and coming.
It is up and coming.
In a matter of no time, we're going to be running.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm running for her now.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Well, thank you for coming on and just sharing your story. I'm always so encouraged hearing it. And I like, actually, after we got coffee, I called my mom and like told her the story back. And she's like, that is insane. Aww. Like, just how cool, like, the Lord is.
Yeah.
And just, even in, like, the smallest moments in people's life to the biggest things, just how special that is to truly just only can rely on Him, you know, and He can use anyone and anything. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Of course. This has been so fun. It took a couple... Okay. Well, if you're listening to this, it took a couple tries and my camera battery kept dying, but we're here, we're doing it. And to finish out this episode, we're going to say we love y'all, and you guys can DM Izzy with any questions you have about anything. I know I'm going to be texting her about like running tips. So love y'all, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.